Thank you. And how would you like to pay for your purchase?
With Federal Reserve notes.
What does that mean?
It means I will give you promissory notes.
What does that mean?
It means I will give you a negotiable instrument.
What does that mean?
It means I will sign a piece of paper that says you can redeem it with me for the money.
Who are you?
The Federal Reserve.
When will I be able to take your notes back to you, in order to get the money?
Never.
This does not sound like a good deal to me.
For you? No, but you don't have a choice.
What are you talking about?
All of my notes have been declared legal tender by the United States government.
What does that mean?
It means that you must pretend that my promises to pay you money are the money itself.
But that is absurd.
Indeed, but everyone else must pretend as well, so there is no problem.
Has the government put any restrictions on how many notes you can create?
No.
But as you create more and more notes, won't it take more and more of them to buy the same things?
That would seem to make sense, but I'm not worried.
Why not?
The Paul Krugman told me everything would be okay.
Isn't he the same person that said, in 2002, that you needed to create a housing bubble by printing more notes?
Yes.
And isn't that exactly what you did?
Yes.
And didn't that plan fall apart, leaving the economy in ruins?
Yes.
And you still think that the Paul Krugman knows what he's doing?
Yes, there are lots of letters after his name. That means he's smart. He also has a nice beard, like the Ben Bernanke.
I am starting to question the wisdom of these bearded economists. So what kind of money do I have to pretend these notes are?
Dollars.
What is a dollar?
$1 is one Federal Reserve note.
But that is circular. Isn't money supposed to be something that actually exists?
Yes, but since the note is legal tender you don't have to think about it.
But isn't this counterfeiting?
Hey now, there's no need to be impolite. I'm a very respectable institution.
But aren't you creating money out of thin air, like a counterfeiter?
Yes.
And doesn't that shift wealth away from the people that produce it, towards you who produces nothing, like a counterfeiter?
Yes.
And don't you rely on the public not realizing the difference between your money and real money, like a counterfeiter?
Yes.
Then how are you any different?
Because there is no real money being used anymore. Everything circulating as money is now my notes, or is based off of them.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Unlikely, I was created in order to prevent them.
But didn't we have a crash in 2008?
Yes.
And wasn't there a crash in 2001?
Yes.
And wasn't there a recession in 1990?
Yes.
And wasn't there a recession in 1981?
Yes.
And weren't there also recessions in 1973, 1969, 1960, 1957, 1953, 1948, 1945, 1937, 1929, 1926, 1923, 1920 and 1918 according to the National Bureau of Economic Research?
Yes.
So how many recessions have you prevented?
I don't know, but the Paul Krugman and the Ben Bernanke assure me that things would be a lot worse if I had not been around.
What do you do to prevent recessions?
I can lower the rate of interest I charge to people who borrow my notes, or I can buy up assets from businesses that made bad investments.
It sounds like you only have the power to bail out idiots who should be going bankrupt.
Yes, but these are very important idiots according to their friends.
Don't their friends sit on your board of governors?
Yes.
Isn't that called a conflict of interest?
It is, but the government told everyone not to do bad things, so you don't have to worry.
Weren't you also created to protect the value of the dollar?
Yes.
And how much is the dollar worth now, since you've been around?
About 3 cents.
It does not sound like you've done anything useful since being created.
I've been getting that a lot lately.
Maybe you should consider getting a new job.
I've been getting that a lot too.